the typical cause for a sorehock situation is, which is not the wire. It's actually not the wire. It's actually urine scald. And instead of peeing on the wire, they pee on the resting mats, and then they sit in the resting mats, and then that causes urine scald. The way you tell that it's urine scald caused, because wet rabbit fur sheds, and that creates raw areas, and then the urine itself is very acidic, and that can create sores. And so Nugget thought it would be a good idea to pee on her resting mat and then sit on it, which then gets on her pads and gets on her stuff. The reason that we know this is urine scald caused and not caused by the wire is if it was just simply caused by them rubbing against the wire, they wouldn't have urine stains on them. So the other day we took her in, she got a bath, and then she gets her feet wrapped for a little bit, and we'll be doing foot wraps every day or two and keep rotating them out until she looks a little better. She already looks a lot better after just getting that bath, and then we're going to go from there. So yeah, so we're going to do some extra softness. I pulled out the resting mats because that was the problem. The hay drains a little bit better, so hay and wood chips are down, and then that's going to be pulled out daily. And she has antibiotic ointment on her paws, and then that is covered with Wonder Dust, which is a septic powder, so it stays dry. And then they're wrapped in vet wrap. So that's why. And if you actually look at the fur on the underneath, it's got pee stain. How we know that was I'm sitting in pee or sitting in wet where I'm not supposed to be. And then, like I said, the hay is gonna, we check, make sure this stays dry, and then that'll be, anything that's damp gets pulled out a lot faster. But that doesn't get as wet as quickly, so it lasts a bit longer. But that is that's how we treat that when they sit in wet. Part of the other issue was she had pulled so much fur, and it's shedding season, that it does thin them out a little bit. So that's why we watch. And if anyone shows any signs of having issues, like she was showing some signs of having some sore spots, they get immediately pulled and they get treated. So I don't waste any time on that because I do not want them to be uncomfortable at all. And contrary to what you're told, it's not actually the wire that causes sorehocks in most cases. There's a couple breeds where it's kind of iffy. If it's the wrong gauge wire, it can, but it's not the wire. It's usually actually the flat surfaces. Like they tell you to put your animals on flat surfaces and use absorbent bedding. It is that bedding that can get soiled and that flat surface that can get soiled that actually causes the sorehocks. And so anytime something like that develops, we pull the mats out because that actually prevents it. So everything that you're being told is not right. They like to blame stuff on that, but when the truth of the matter probably is if they were in a wire cage and got sorehocks, they were probably pissing and shitting in one corner and the cage wasn't being cleaned, or they were pissing and shitting in a litter box and then sitting in it.